We're supposed to have a Christmas party tonight, and we've had terrible winter weather, mix, nasty all morning. So I'm heading outside to see if it's slippery, and the door is like frozen. Look at that. Not a good sign. Straight up sheet of ice. Sliding.
Look at that! Oh my gosh! Look how much ice is on that thing.
It's like a, look at that. You can see like the reflection. Man, good. At least, holy cow. Car is covered up. Sorry, John. I'm gonna be late. Q&A with Ray. One of the questions I got was, where the heck are you shooting your videos? This is in our basement, and this is an old shop where we store some stuff like our Christmas tree and different things like that. But also was a space that had this cool workbench and pegboard and all that stuff behind me, and I was like, I don't use that for anything else. All my tools are up in the garage and blah, blah, blah. And so I think I'll use it as my background for now. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm shooting these videos. And it's somewhat quiet, unless somebody's running upstairs. Or the heater clicks on. One of the questions I got was, what are some of the books that have kind of shaped like your ministry and how you look at ministry and different things like that? And really, I could have a top 10 list, but I've chosen 4 or 5, I guess, and then I even had Abby weigh in on some. And I told her, I said, not today, but at some point, I would love for you to do a top 5, like your favorite books, right? Yeah, give it a like if you want to say, yes, Abby, let's do that, right? Real quick though, if you haven't subscribed, okay, click the red button below so that you can keep track of this. Know that this is also a daily vlog that we're doing. And so if you're not seeing something every day, then you're missing something. And so go back and watch those, check them out, and see what you think. All right. Now, with that, let's jump into my books that have, shaped my ministry. Number 1 is a book I read several years ago, but is still very relevant to many churches and today, and it's called Deep and Wide by Andy Stanley. Deep and Wide is a great book talking about how our church needs to go deeper and not wider. It's not all about numbers, it's all about discipleship and ministry. This is an amazing book that has really shaped how I look at ministry. It's not necessarily all about the numbers. Numbers are important, don't get me wrong, but really it's all about growing disciples and growing people closer and deeper in relationship with Jesus. So Deep and Wide by Andy Stanley would be my first. The next one, and this was a very recent read, was called The Power of Moments. I think I recommended this in another video that I did, but this is an amazing book looking at the moments that we make in life and the moments that stick out to us in life, and how we as a leader or a person who is running an organization or a church or a whatever can use those moments to create moments that you'll remember. And for me, that's been something that I've really kind of been trying to evaluate. Like, how are we creating moments within our church that are moments that will be remembered and not just routine, complacent, mundane, all those different words that we might use. So, The Power of Moments by Chip Heath. Another one that's really shaped my leadership and what I desire to do in the way of multiplying out leaders, creating other leaders, replicating myself, having my staff replicate themselves, is one called Designed to Lead. And this is by Geiger. And man, this book is really all about the church and how the church can create leaders, not just within the context of the church, but also outside of the church. So if you're running an organization, guess what? The church could be and should be equipping you to be a better leader in the workplace, but also there within the church. And so this book is all about this idea of like a healthy culture for leadership within the church, and a healthy culture of leadership outside of the church for you as well. The majority of people that are at a church are lay members, right? They're not paid staff members by any means, and so they have other jobs and other things they do. And so in that, they have an opportunity to go out and lead others. Another great book that really has set my heart into mission and my hope and desires for my church body and fellowship that we are looking to grow and equip is Gaining by Losing by J.D. Greear. J.D. Greear wrote this book a couple years ago, and it's all about this idea of how the church grows by losing people, but losing people in a healthy way. And what I mean by this is that JD's church has sent out tons of church planters all across the United States and even across the world. And he talks about in his book, when he looks up on stage, he sees maybe one of his best leaders or one of his best givers or tithers. And he looks at those folks and goes, oh man, they're leaving. But then how the Lord replicates that in the new people that he brings into the fellowship and the new people that he brings to his church. And so it's trusting in giving for growing the kingdom and not just holding and hoarding, but all about having that open hand with your people and with what the Lord wants to do in your community or fellowship. Gaining by Losing. This next one I asked Abby, I said, what is a book that's really shaped you and your outlook on ministry? And the one that I kind of expected her to say was this book right here called The Church Planter's Wife. If you are a church planter's wife, I would greatly encourage you to read this book if you haven't. It's amazing. I haven't personally read it, but I know that it has shaped Abby's look and her heart for ministry as a church planter's wife in church planting life, right? And so in that, this is a great one, and the one that she recommended right off the bat when I asked her that question. Another one that stuck out for her is an Annie Downs book called Let's All Be Brave. And this is the devotional that goes with it, 100 Days of Being Brave. But when we came into the church planting context, one of the words that stuck out for her that she felt like the Lord really placed on her heart was this word of be brave. And be brave in everything that you do and everything that you step out into. And so that book really has meant a lot to her and meant a lot to her process of growing as a church planter's wife and as a leader within the context of our church. All of those books I will link below in the comments or in the description. And if you want to check those out, I would highly encourage it, especially if you're a young leader in ministry or someone who just wants to be fully understand more, a lay leader who fully wants to understand more about just the context of church and ministry. These are great books that can begin to shape and direct your life. Why not keep the fun going? Let's look at a little mail. Love mail around our house. It's from Chad Mann. Chad is the discipleship and missional pastor at Eastside, the church we came from in Fort Smith, and he sent me this lovely package. I've already opened it, but I just wanted to share it with you because it's pretty cool. He sent me a brand new ESV, that's upside down, ESV Bible, goat skin black, can't beat that. And so I opened it up and look at this, man. This thing is gorgeous. Look at here. It comes in this fancy paper. You crack open the paper and there it is. And this is like the softest leather. This is like the soft leather I've ever experienced. Like it's super soft, super squishy. And this is going to be a great, I think, preaching Bible. So thank you, Chad, so much. I love it. I will use it. Thank you. Next thing I got is a package from the North American Mission Board. So this is always fun to see what's in here. Our planter care is amazing. So here's what they sent us. Trying to get it open. This thing's in there. All right. Oh. So it is the Acts of the Apostles, and it is a scripture journal. I've seen these. When you read this, it has scripture on one side, and then it has a blank page on the other side so that you can doodle scripture, journal, write out whatever you need to write out. And as you go through it, you'll see all the pages are like that. There's scripture and then the place to write out in the journal. And so you can do that for your particular so this is an awesome, awesome tool, I think, that could be very useful to you. So thank you, North American Mission Board. Thank you, SimCare. Well, thanks for joining me. Hope that you will go below, click subscribe. Really excited about some of the ideas that I've got coming up, including Q&A, a little segment I'm going to call What in the Word. another thing coming up with some church planners that hopefully is going to be a really cool deal for you and other church planners, just to learn a little bit and to walk through. And so excited about that, and excited about where this channel is going as it evolves and as it changes. And yeah, just having great fun. So thanks for watching. Keep watching. Share if you want to. Comment below. There's somebody walking up above, right? But share and comment. Love to hear from you. Thanks so much. Have a great day. See ya.